Good morning, friends, and how are you today? As you can see from my festive attire, we are still in the holiday season. We are actually 2 days away from Christmas, so we are on the eve of Christmas. Jeffrey is driving, and I are going out on a family break. What does family break entail? Can't get that word out today. Entail. It means Jeff and I noticed there's nobody in the back. The seats are even laid down.
Which is why I've graduated to the front row.
Yes, yeah. Yeah, right. We are going out without children, without mothers, without mother-in-laws. We don't have any mother. Well, you have a mother-in-law here. I have a mother. We're just getting a break. And it's an exciting break. One, I get my nails done. I do one thing that is like girly, really super girly. And that's I get my nails done. I can totally admit that.
You want to do it before and after?
Oh yeah. So right now they were Christmassy. And after, you're probably going to go, well, did they even change? Because they are. But they are. So I got some fun going that way. So yeah. So right now they are like this. And later I'll show you what they are like that. So, at any rate, but I'm more excited about the other thing that we're doing today. Because we have been talking about this for years. I'm not even lying. It was years. It's been years. But we feel like we have a little push to get this done. We'll let you all figure out what that push is. But we have the push. And that is we are going to go get our gun license. We are pro-gun. We live on a farm. There are times when, let's face it, you need a gun. And that it would be down to predator, or you just need to you have to euthanize an animal because it's suffering, and that's just humane. I'm sorry. If you are an animal activist and you are out, don't watch this channel. Just don't.
Well, I don't want even to go that far. I mean,
don't.
We truly care and love and
no,
raise
it has
our
nothing to
animals,
do with that. But these people would have a problem if we name our chickens chicken nuggets. Because what are they going to be? Chicken nuggets.
Our pigs are,
bacon sizzle,
bacon
chop.
Yeah.
So again, true animal activists are going to have a problem that we raise our animals.
Yeah, I don't think we got a lot
of
of vegans watching our channel.
Vegan. So don't. There's Jeff. You just keep hearing him talk, and I just feel it's weird that you haven't seen him really. And yes, no, I'm not wearing a seatbelt right now. It's because of so anyway. So if you're a vegan or if you are an animal activist, you probably aren't going to like this channel and also our sister channel. You're just not going to like it. And that's okay. We are not everybody's cup of tea, and we are fully okay with that. And we wish you well and Godspeed, God bless. But for the rest of you, we are going to get our gun license, and we are going to check out some rifles, some hand pistols. But not only are we doing this, and now I'll get all these parents going, you've got 6 kids. We have a safe, 1. 2, we are taking the whole entire family. We'll take the littles, but they're just coming because they have to come. But we are going to have mom and dad, the bigs, Callie and Courtney, the middles, Courtney, or Ethan and Amelia. We are all going to have gun safety. We are all going to. Because here's my thought. And I'm going to get on a little soapbox for a minute, because I was raised with guns and bows and arrows and all that good stuff in my home. I also was taught that they are for hunting. They are not for harming somebody. They're not harming ourselves. They are literally for protection of something or hunting or something. And our belief is that if you take the curiosity out of it, like a kid going, I wonder what it feels like to shoot a gun. You take that away, it's not as dangerous in your home. And if you are smart, we will not have them loaded, ready to go. We will not, again, you keep the ammo in a separate spot. You just have to be smart about it. And that's where I have a hard time. Like I said, I'm on my soapbox. I have a hard time with people saying, take the guns away. Because the guns themselves do not kill a single person. They don't. It's the people behind them, and it's the way that children are raised. It's the, what is your ammo? Not literally your ammo, but what's your incentive? What is it? And we believe teaching your children the right, appropriate way, gun trapping and doing all these different things, it takes that curiosity away, and so it makes them more safe, if you will. And again, I understand, and you can put it in our comments. I'm sure our comments are going to be deleted anyways because we talk about this, but hey, down in the bottom, my email is there. You want to talk about this? I am willing to talk to you about this. This is my stance. This is my family. This is my farm, and this is how we are running it. But again, you have your own opinion. If you want to have an adult conversation with me about it, sure, I will.
At the end of the day, a gun it's nothing more than a tool. It serves a purpose, and I mean, we've got dangerous things. We've got tractors. We've got, we've had a child put a pitchfork through his foot. Technically, it was his sister that put it through his foot. But my point is, you can be hurt in countless different ways, and obviously the
driving in a car, not wearing a seatbelt. Both of us are wearing our seatbelts.
Fair point.
Wow.
But obviously, the magnitude of an injury related to a gunshot is huge and may be fatal. But at the end of the day, like everything, like Jess said, if you are taught appropriate respect for the tool and you are taught appropriate
respect for that tool.
Well, respect for the tool, but just the way to handle it.
Yes.
Then like
the
everything.
Appropriateness.
Yeah, it's.
I mean, let's face it. What did Callie get hurt by the other day?
Callie get the other day?
In the forehead.
Oh, a concussion.
She got a concussion by
a power drill.
By a power drill. So I mean, seriously, like Joe said, it's a tool. It is one of those things that accidents happen. No ifs, ands, or buts. You could be prepared as much as possible, and we understand that it is a risk bringing this into our home, but we feel that the benefits outweigh the risks. And again, if you want to talk to us privately about any of this, please feel free to email us and talk to us about that. We could have an adult conversation.
For sure.
I'll put my big girl panties on. It's all good. So at any rate, so that's what we're doing today. We are going to Fleet Farm. Farm and Fleet. Do we have Fleet Farm or Farm and Fleet?
Fleet Farm.
Because did you notice two of them? But it's a Midwestern thing. So we're going to go to what? Fleet Farm. We're going to go to Fleet
Best store
Farm.
in the world.
One of the best stores in the world. Let's face it, Hobby Lobby's up there too. So we're gonna go there. We're gonna try to bring you along a little bit on what this all entails. And
yeah, because we've never actually purchased.
No, we've never purchased.
Firearm.
We've been gifted, if you will. I don't know. Inherited, I think, is more of the word, because they were actually. And again, this is where I come back. I don't actually feel those guns are safe, if you will. Like, they probably are safe, but they're old. Like I want something that we purchase because, one, it feels good to us. It's appropriate for our farm, and we get all the bells and whistles or whatever. So we are going to do that today. We have a few more errands we have to run to Christmas prepare. I know, really, we're going to Christmas. We're getting guns. I mean, come on.
Ho, ho, ho. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. So, at any rate, we're going to have some fun today. We, like I said, are taking a family break just for Jeff and I, and this is a date that doesn't include even a little. And that's one of the joys of having grandparents come to town, is that they like to watch those littles, and they want to watch all these kids. So that's what we're going to do today. I am super thrilled and excited that this is finally happening. Like I said, we have been literally talking about this for years.
Yeah.
And come January, I feel like it's something we need to have done. We'll let you figure that part out. So that's all for now, but we will bring you along as much as we feel we can possibly bring you, and show you the process of us doing this. And
yeah, I think that would be an interesting part, because we haven't gone through the purchasing process. We'll try again. I don't know how much we can actually record or do, but we'll at a bare minimum we'll do a recap of what does it take, what's the licensing process, what's the You know, because I'm sure there's a lot of people that.
If you're a homesteader, I mean, this is, or
Yeah, well, there's all
a
kinds
lot
of reasons nowadays.
Everybody has their own reason.
But big deal is, if you've never done it before, I would imagine it's an intimidating process for a lot of different people. I don't know that I'm intimidated by the process.
I'm excited.
I'm excited as well, but it's still a bit of unknown. I kind of have an idea of what to expect, but I haven't done it, so I don't want to make bad assumptions, and I certainly don't want to, give anybody a wrong story of what to expect. So for me,
did you bring your license?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
So this will be an opportunity for us to be able to share our experience, what to expect. So in the event that you decide that you also want to go down this path of gun ownership and you don't know where to go, this will hopefully give you just a sample of what to expect.
Okay, hello friends. So nail update. Pretties.
Looking good.
Looking good. Such a sweet woman I have that does my nails. Such a small thing, but as a mom of 6 and homeschool mom that don't get out very often, it makes you feel good, and that's a good thing. And you get to go talk to another human being that's not little, and so get to have some good conversation, and she's just sweet. So at any rate, got that taken care of, feeling good on that. So we went to Fleet Farm. Not an original idea, day before Christmas Eve, all the men are out shopping finally. Not to be rude, honey.
It's true, though.
But it's the truth. I worked retail for many years, and this was the funnest day to work because the men were just, whatever you want, whatever she needs, just buy it. They would buy anything. So at any rate, back to our story. So, state of Wisconsin, you just need your license, and you need to go and fill out paperwork. We did not fill out that paperwork because the very nice gentleman that was helping him, Mark, he said, okay, this is your first time doing this, which it is, and I have shot a gun before, but not in like any stretch of the imagination of actual really truly doing it. It was like my dad saying, hey, here, shoot a gun, and I shot a gun. So nothing I would even call really shooting a gun. So he said, pick out the gun you think you like. And so I did, right? Which shocked me because the one I like was the first one I picked out because it's small. It's tiny. I got kind of tiny hands. I mean, I got girl hands. But I was surprised when he handed it to me how heavy it was. Holy crime. And he said that. He goes, this is tiny, but it's going to be super heavy. It's solid metal.
Yeah, it was.
And so,
it was.
And
heavy.
it was super heavy. And then he had me try a lighter weight one, which was super lightweight. It was a lightweight. It had some triggers that I didn't like. It had two safeties on it. And one of them was actually you would undo it with the cock of your hand, like right in your hand, squeezing it. And then you have to flip it. I'm just gonna put it out there in case of an emergency. It would have been too much thinking for me. And I know you have to think. No comments. I know you have to think before you shoot. Like I get that. But it was just a lot for me. It was just too much for but there was my mom's side of me that said, well, this is nice. It's 2 safeties, whatever. But and I told Jeff this, and it sounds really corny coming out of my mouth, and it sounds weird to say, but the heavier gun reminded you are carrying a gun. Like, it's no joke. It's not a toy. It is a gun, and it has purpose. And so I'm just trying to tell my husband which way to go here. And so we didn't buy today. We decided to take the guy's advice and take the picture. So we just tried them on, in our hands, see what we thought we liked. And he said to go to the nearest. We have a shooting range and this is where we're gonna go take all of our lessons and stuff. But we took down the names and all the things. Jeff took a picture of which gun, and he's like, all of the guns we have here are there. Go shoot them. Go shoot them and really feel how it feels in your hand. So you don't, because the guy was really respectful of, this is a big purchase. This is big purchase as in it's a gun. big purchase as in there's a price tag to it, and it's a choice, and it's this, you have to be comfortable, because he's like, it does you no good if you're scared to use it, or if you're intimidated by it, or whatever the case may be. So we took that information and we are gonna do that. We're really gonna go. And the guy was really cool. He's like, it's open today if you really want to go today. Not sure we're gonna do it today. I'm not sure what I'm not sure. We're gonna go have some lunch and chit chat about it.
We're gonna figure out what our schedule is.
Figure out what else our schedule is.
We got a lot of freedom today.
We got a lot of freedom today because we don't have the kids. And again, that is a big deal because we don't have the kids. Doesn't make sense for us to go do that today. We'll see. So right now we both think we figured out which gun we would like to have. We both are purchasing one to conceal and carry if that's what we choose. We're not saying that's exactly what we're going to be doing. It is just a choice. Jeff did a really good job of researching on good questions to ask, and really understanding your purpose for why you want to have this gun is a big deal to know before you're doing this. And at some point, if I feel I need to conceal and carry, I want that choice. And so I don't want to be locked down to not. So again, the weight of this gun is going to be a big deal for me. And, and so that's really our update. Wasn't really an update. That's, too much. But again, the process is easy. We had a really nice gentleman that was answering. He didn't pressure us. He was really good. So I guess that's my suggestion, is make sure you feel really comfortable about the person you're talking to. It's kind of funny because this guy that was picking up a lot of ammunition. Did you see how much ammunition this guy was? Yeah. Oh my goodness. Well, he kept bringing in, if you want to do this, do this. And so it was kind of fun.
Well, it's a little fun, but it's a little dangerous to just take unsolicited advice from somebody who you have absolutely no idea if they're qualified
for. But it was just but he was like, check this out. I mean, he wasn't like trying to tell us what to do, but for sure, I understand.
I think in this situation, the guy who was talking to us
knew
what he was talking about,
just by how much ammo he was buying.
But I don't know that you're always going to get that by having somebody just randomly.
Oh, for sure. Yes, thank you, husband. Being very correct. That is absolutely correct. You shouldn't always take advice from just pure strangers. But again, the guy shooting the gun or giving us the gun was a pure stranger. But at any rate, so we're going to do that. Right now, we're going to go to our favorite Mexican restaurant. So good. Even though we're eating Mexican tonight, because we have a new tradition we're going to be doing. Do you want to sneak in here real quick?
Sure.
It's a new tradition. We don't usually have Mexican the Christmas Eve of the Eve.
Oh, the whole festive food piece?
We're going to...
you can tell how much I pay attention to the menu.
Or the traditions. You just show up.
I show up.
One of our sons is of Mexican descent, and so we are trying to incorporate that. And with our Mexican restaurant that we are going to go to, they have cakes, and they say Feliz Navidad. And I know people are going to go, so what? It just says Feliz. No, it's actually made by Mexican people, and it's a traditional Mexican cake. Mm-hmm. So, which I have not learned how to make yet. So we're going to...
Do they have chili powder in that too?
Oh God, I hope not. We've had the cake before. It doesn't.
That's true. But we've bought a lot of Mexican candy in the past, and the best.
I don't know what y'all thinking.
The best thing is to get Mexican candy and give it to your children if they are your traditional American sugar-based candy consumers.
It was a good time.
Yeah, that's
parent fun.
Parent fun, yes.
And we have another tradition in our house. It's weird candy. Like 1 year for Christmas, we're so tangenting. You're going to learn that we can start here and we will end up over here to over here to over here with our conversations.
But if you stick with us, it will come back.
It does come full circle. So 1 year for Christmas, I put in, what is it? Harry Potter jelly beans.
Oh, the ones that tasted like feet
and feet and snot. And we made the kids eat them.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Another fun
good times.
Parent.
So, but our kids love it and they talk about it all the time. And so make some of those traditions for your family. I mean, they may be stupid to other people, but who cares? Like, I'm wearing an ugly dress out on a date with my husband the day before Christmas Eve. Why? Because I can.
Right.
Because it makes me feel Christmassy. And I'm kind of back. It's staticky. It's really staticky. But it's okay. So, again, background. So, we're going to go eat some Mexican food for the first time today. Not the last time today. The first time today.
So, speaking of Corbin, do you know what happened? Facebook did the hey, this so many years ago on this day, what we were doing 3 years ago at this point?
We were in the hospital.
We were in the hospital.
Yeah.
Corbin's first Christmas was in the hospital.
Yes.
And I tell you what, again,
never forget that Christmas.
As a parent, having your child have their very first Christmas in the hospital definitely puts a lot of things in perspective. And
yeah, I thought it was going to be devastated. I thought I was going to be devastated, and I thought, oh my gosh, because you think of all the pictures, and I mean, because we were having another first Christmas this year, Jackson's first Christmas, and you think about, oh, all the pictures, their presents, and all this, but you know what? That year, it will be another Christmas we'll never forget.
No, it was a fantastic.
The Ronald McDonald House we stayed at made us feel we had presents beyond presents, because of course I didn't have my presents with us, and the hospital, we had a children's hospital, went above and beyond, like even to the fact of, you know, the nurses ate some of the cookies so that, because we left out cookies for Santa.
And Corbin was in a quarantine environment.
But they still did a great job from the windows. We had his whole room decorated. So again, it's not about where you are, it's about who you're with. It really comes down to it. And this man and my family are the most important. And no matter where we are, we have proven we can have a very Merry Christmas. Yeah. And it means nothing about where you are, it's who you're with.
Yeah. But I think in that moment in time, generally speaking, we've done a good job of focusing on Christ and family over possessions and Santa, right? I mean, maybe we haven't always been perfect, but over the last many years, that's been our focus. But there's nothing like being in that vulnerable spot to really have what truly matters come front and center. And since then, it's been easy to keep that as a focus
and to pray for other families that aren't so fortunate. We saw even in that time kids passing away, and you know, we were in the hospital and it wasn't a life or death, thank the good Lord, it wasn't but there were families celebrating their last Christmas with their child, and it really reminds you that it's not about the presents, it's not about the commercialism, the clothes, the nails, the presents and everything. It's really about the fact that you are blessed, and every day you need to be thankful for just that, because you never know when it's just your last time. So that was a very 3 years ago today. We were sitting in a children's hospital, and fortunately right now we have everybody healthy, we have everybody growing, everybody is happy, and we are just going to get back onto our Christmas journey of 2020. Not bad for me. Clicks. So we had an awesome lunch. Jeff will put up in here a picture of it, because he took a picture of our dinner, and we bought a cake, our Feliz Navidad cake. Which it's kind of funny because the kid that we're celebrating for doesn't eat. So it's really for us. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna use my child
for cake.
That's why I'm this size.
Oh, stop it.
Y'all can understand. It's all good. I have good fun with myself. It's good. I'm a big girl. I can handle it. It's all good. Anyways, so we decided we're going to go shoot some guns. How exciting. I thought I would be nervous, I think, to just go shooting. But now I'm starting to go, I might have to have shooting dates. Like, let's get our pistols, babe, and let's go shoot some guns.
Right.
I mean, how sexy is that?
That is sexy. I was just going to say.
Ladies, if you want a guy to go to Hobby Lobby with you, say, but by the way, we're also going to go shoot some guns. It might not be so bad. It might not be so bad. I'm gonna let my husband talk about what he thinks about that.
I think that's self-explanatory. Quite honestly, I think that is a fair trade. 7 days a week, which is even better because Hobby Lobby's closed on Sunday. So really, it's a win all the time. So yeah, I'm all for this. I'm excited to get out on the range and actually take that next step in terms of not making just a generalized thought, but actually
an informed decision.
Yeah, and, trying it on, right?
The guy had a really good idea. Like, it was a really super good idea to. It's such a big investment. It's one of the biggest, like, for me.
Yeah, well, yeah. Most importantly, you need to be comfortable with it, both in terms of the size, the feel, the kickback, all the safety elements of it, and that's not realistically something you can get just by looking at it in a case or picking it up, and with no ammunition in it, without firing it. So it's important to try it on. I mean, you wouldn't. I guess clothing requires you to not have when you go buy clothes nowadays. You normally have a fitting room, right? But you're not in COVID time, but at any rate.
And back to me. Okay, because we were talking at lunch, just again coming back to our motives behind this, and an example of something. I don't like the helpless feeling I had when one night at Thanksgiving I woke up to the sound of coyotes in our backyard. Like,
no worries.
Sorry, just stop them falling in the back. Make sure it's not the cake.
Right.
So at any rate, we were laying in bed, and the sound of these coyotes were like way too close for comfort. And most of you are like, oh, big deal, you're in your house. I'm in my house, but I have baby goats out there. I have things that are relying on me to keep them safe. And no, guns aren't the only option. I understand this. And we have the fences, we have the barbed wire, we have the electric fences, but sometimes those fail. And we've had cows get out, it fails. And so I want to feel that sense of security. And for me, this is what's making it secure. It's not for everybody. I'm not here saying everybody has to have a gun. That is not what I'm saying. But for me, it is that I want to know if I feel my animals are in danger, I can grab something. I can be educated about it. I can have a good shot. I do not believe, even if it's a predator, that you should be shooting something if you don't know how to actually kill it. Warning shots are one thing. I think give a predator a warning shot, whatever. But we have animals that rely on us, and that's a big thing. And let's face it, the world is getting super stupid crazy. It's just, we're really safe where we are. But I'm gonna say it like it is. We have stuff that people will want if things go to the crapper.
Well,
it's just...
Speaking of going to the crapper, you saw how the world went when they thought they were going to run out of toilet paper.
For sure, people. It's toilet paper.
Imagine
reusable toilet paper. Solved. Done.
Imagine
what
it'll be like when people don't actually have food.
And we felt a little bit of that with that stupid, the COVID, whatever, and people couldn't get meat. All of a sudden, we get phone calls all the time. Can we buy meat from you? Can we buy meat from you? We didn't really have a big expectation for the farm to start producing for a lot of families, but hey, where the good Lord takes us, we'll go. And so at this point, we are starting to see that come back. And so, again, we just have things that people are going to want. And, excuse me, we've put ourselves in that position, and, and people will lose their minds at some point. And I don't know. I have kids to protect. I have a farm to protect, and this is how I feel I'm going to protect myself. I was raised in a family that we were taught to learn, and we respected guns. We respected the power of them, and I was taught at a very young age that it's something to be respectful for, and I will continue that. And so we'll see. I don't know if I can film inside the shooting range. I don't know. I know we keep saying, gosh, we hope we can film this, and we can't. We don't, or we haven't. So I'm hoping that we can take at least some shots.
I'm pretty sure we'll be able to do something.
Not really. Don't worry, we're not going to shoot the camera. Take some shots. Get it?
Yeah, no, I followed along there.
We'll get some still shots of us trying on our guns, and I really hope that people have respect for what we're choosing to do. Like, that's all I ask for you to do, is just respect what we are choosing. Again, you want to have a conversation with either one of Jeff or I, please feel free to email us, and we can have an adult conversation about this. This is what we choose for our family. It may not be for everybody's family, and that's okay. That's totally okay. That's all I'm walking out with is a sweatshirt, a stupid sweatshirt.
It's not stupid.
It's not stupid.
It's pretty.
So, we took you with. We'll have footage, I think, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we have. I videoed you too.
Okay.
Women, if you haven't seen your man shoot gun, I suggest it. It's really hot. Especially this man did a fabulous job. He walked out with a gun.
I did.
Was a super simple process. You handed them a lot of paperwork.
Not a lot.
It felt like a lot. To me,
Any
more than signing my name is a lot of paperwork.
But they did a background check just like that.
They did a background check. They said it could go up to a couple days or whatever, but I guess
I'm squeaky clean.
But he's squeaky clean. We're squeaky clean people. So we came to a gun store, and a shooting range. Highly, highly suggest that. I'll take back what I said about Fleet Farm. Not the fact that the guy wasn't nice or whatever, but these people are so much more educated. I walked in and I showed him the gun that I was considering, and he's like, no, you're not. And this is why. And it was so right. He fitted me for a gun. He had, we were able to, I have arthritis, and so we were able to tell him that, and just so thoroughly go through the gun. So thoroughly go through the gun. So I do really highly suggest, where you have walls of guns, go in there. If they have walls and walls of guns, go in there. For us, that's this place, not Fleet Farm. Found a gun that I truly love, but he's like, I'm sorry, you can't even get it right now because there's a waiting list for it. So I have to go on a waiting list. But
you found one.
But I found one. I was shooting. It was a little intimidating. I'm not gonna lie. The first shot I did was pretty damn good.
Yeah, you hit it right in the bullseye.
I did. After that, I knew what to expect, and it wasn't scaredness. It was just like, oh, it's coming.
You were anticipating.
And I was tense, and I'd like, it's going to come. If I pull the trigger, it's going to come. I really hurt my back. Like, it hurt my back, because I was so tense. And then
so that was less about the gun and more about you.
Correct. The gun itself, I was holding it in the wrong spot. The guy went over holding it, but there's a lot to go through. So I was not holding it right, so I had to reroute it. I wasn't aiming correctly with the two things. I was off.
You were aiming left and right appropriately, but not up and down.
So much to think about. True, if a burglar's coming in, you just blast them. Don't worry about just blast them.
Doesn't matter if you hit him in the knee or the shoulder.
Just blast them. But for but for like shooting, you actually want to not look stupid. And then they kept kicking. The shells kept kicking back, and one went down my shirt. It burned.
No, it's not to laugh.
It was not to laugh.
It
literally went down my shirt, and it burned. That's hot. Yeah, we're good. So at any rate, but the nice guy, Tyler was his name, came in and he's like, just try to aim. Just aim. Don't worry about the kickback. Don't worry about being fast at it. Be as slow as you want. Just aim. And I also was I was doing that, which pulls you back. So again, I wasn't comfortable. And this is why I'm talking about doing what we're doing, is purchase that gun and get your butt in a shooting range and just shoot and shoot, or outside if you have a target or whatever, but shoot. Get used to it, because it's intimidating. It's you made it look easy. I mean, to me, you made it look easy. But I think it's a guy thing. I think part of it too, this is a woman-man thing.
Yeah.
For guys, you dream about gun shooting. I mean, no, little boys, bang, bang.
Right.
Girls are playing house. And so and as a mom, we have those instincts. I was going to say something, but I'm not going to say it. This is something for me, literally, that was going through my head is, don't kill my kids. Don't shoot my husband. Those are the things that, like, the nature. I do feel to protect my family, but that's the man's job, to protect the family. You're going to learn in our channel very quickly that we believe in traditional roles. And again, if you don't like that, it's okay. Goodbye. It's okay. We're good. Or stay around and see why we believe that.
Right.
But for me, I know that if he's off the property, then I do step into that role, and I need to be protected, and I need to know what to do. But it just doesn't come natural to me. So I have to get my butt in here. I'm going to have to get to the shooting range. I'm going to have to practice and get past that. And I don't want to call it fear, because it's not fear. It's that mind game. I'm going to kill a family member, or there's going to be an accident. And I think it's always smart to have that in the back of your head, though, still, too, because it's real. I had a loaded pistol, and my husband was standing next to me, turned the wrong direction, pulled the trigger finger, boom. It's like that power was in your hand. The power to kill was in my hand, and that never escaped me, and I hope it never does escape me. My finger wanted to be on that trigger all the time instead of where it's supposed to be. So again, this guy went through it so well. He was awesome. He was awesome. Jeff walked out with a gun. So now we do have a gun in our home, with ammo, and I feel, again, after seeing Jeff handle the gun, I feel very safe with him being in it, because he was so careful. Like, I was testing you. I was watching you. Did you act stupid with it? Did you act macho with it? Did you do the right steps that he was talking about? And Jeff did. Jeff never carried the gun with ammo in it until he was in the chamber. Like, he carried it from one side to the other without even ammo in it. Not just the safety on it, but there was no ammo even in it. So my safety feel of my husband protecting my kids with this was good. The first thing my husband said was the box that it came in, which we'll show you later. We can show you all that kind of stuff. I don't know if you can on YouTube, but it has 2 locks. A place where you can put a padlock. It had 2 holes that will close it, and you'd have to be able to know the comm to get off of it, or a key, or whatever the case may be. So, that's the first thing my husband saw and felt. So again, as for me, it's safe. And so I have to go on a waiting list, which is fine. I'll come out here and I'll continue to shoot with that gun, so I get comfortable with that gun. And like I said, the guy was good about talking to us, and I feel good about it. Got my feet wet.
And you got better and better as you went along. Your last 5 shots were your best 5 shots.
Yeah.
Except for your very first one. Your very first one was absolutely bullseye. Then you
I just knew what to expect.
Then you got off course.
I wasn't expecting the kickback. I really wasn't expecting a pistol to have that much of a kickback. I expect it with a rifle. I expect that. It's big, it's long. I didn't expect it to the way it kicked back.
Because it was a 9mm. And so
it was a 9mm, which the guy talked about, because the one I looked at before was it was a 6.3.
No, it was a 38.
Or 38. And so he talked about that, like, just go with the 9. And he had reasons for it, which were really good reasons. Just because ammo is getting harder to find, and it's easier to find a 9. And if we're both shooting 9, Jeff came up with, if we're both shooting 9s, why?
It's universal.
It's universal. So we did that. I walked out with a sweatshirt. It's a really cute sweatshirt, though. It's got buffalo plaid. It matches my nails, to be honest with you.
You gotta accessorize.
Yeah.
Right?
But the biggest thing I really want people to take away: get out and shoot. If you have guns in your house and you're okay with that, keep it sharp and get out. Use it so it's not a lost. It's like riding a bike. Just keep getting on it and ride it and just shoot. And so you are comfortable. So it's comfortable in your hand, and you know what you're doing, because I think the worst thing you could do is buy a gun and just put it on a shelf and think you're going to know what to do when you do it. And so, yeah, that's my biggest word of advice. It was fun.
It was also that, for sure.
It was.
I was a little disappointed when you said you didn't want another box of ammo, but I know that we've got a lot more things to do.
We do, and I needed to process this. This was a process for me. The first round was okay. The second round, I actually hated it and I wanted to quit. I'm like, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't. It was frustrating because I was not doing well. I was not even close to my.
That's when you had a round go down your dress.
Was it the second time?
Yeah. So.
And that wasn't that didn't really, that wasn't even it. It was just, I couldn't understand why I wasn't shooting. And then all the time, then I started doubting myself. One thing you start to learn about me is I can easily doubt myself easily. I can get into that trap. And so I started doubting myself. This is not the right, I'm going to hurt my kids. I'm going to do something stupid. Which,
I think that's a fair, where you were going, you were struggling. I could see how that was coming. But
well, and I when I was struggling, I was making stupid mistakes. I wasn't putting my safety on. And then it just kind of, this is a wrong decision. And so it was good that I didn't have another round to go into right away. I had to sit down. I had to regroup. Again, Tyler came in and said, stop worrying about anything except the target and aiming.
And we talked about the aiming part. It was kind of a sequential thing where we kept identifying a little thing here, a little thing there.
And so I think that's why I wanted to end, because I ended on a good. I had a good last round, and I wanted to end on a good experience. I didn't want to have yet another good again, my back actually really hurts because of how tense I was the first couple times. It's intimidating. It's a gun. It's intimidating. I mean, when we first got in there, my heart started racing, seeing all these ammo. I mean, the guy was very comfortable. He was packing and carrying. I even asked the questions. Yes, ladies, I asked. Because men carry their little guns pointing to their... I'm like, aren't you worried you're going to...
have an accident?
And of course, he's like, no, and this is, but he didn't say no and stop. He's like, no, and this is why.
Yeah,
and so
every answer he had a justification.
He had a justification, so that helped me greatly. And so I felt comfortable, but I mean, walking into that shooting range, this is the first time I've ever been in a shooting range, indoor shooting range. I've been in outdoor ones. Yeah. It was intimidating. There's ammo all over the floor. It's an atmosphere, and it was real. I was holding a pistol in my hands. It was real as it could get. And I just wanted to end on a good... I wanted to end on a good note. And I felt that last round was a good round. And like I said, the second round, I was ready to quit. I was there. And so I'm glad, because I almost said no to even shooting the last round. I was going to tell you just to do it yourself. But I said, no, get up. I'm trying these things. Because
I'm glad, and I didn't have to encourage you to do that. You did that yourself.
There's a lot of self-talk.
But you did it.
I did. Awesome. I did, because I know the importance that it is for me. As much as I thought of my kids I thought about my kids and their animals and our animals and protecting. And I did no, I've got to do this. And so I'm happy I did it. I'm excited. We have a gun in the house now. I feel good about that. Like I said, I trust him a lot. He did really well, and damn, was it sexy.
Love you, babe.